Hello, everyone, and welcome to NGLCC Sip and Pitch Fridays. I know it's been a few months after the NGLCC conference since we've had our last Sip and Pitch, so it is great to see so many familiar and new faces joining us for today's Sip and Pitch. My name is Lauren Schweppe. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm our Director of Programs and Stakeholder Advocacy here at NGLCC. A couple of housekeeping items before we get started today. If you could just move that mouse over to the right side of your screen, hover over your picture, hit those three dots, and rename yourself to add your pronouns here on Zoom so we can make all of our virtual spaces as inclusive as possible. Please also be sure to remain on mute when you're not speaking so we can avoid any interruptions throughout today's presentation. Now I'm very excited to announce our panel of illustrious judges who are joining us today. We have Kate Weaver, Principal Program Lead of Supplier Diversity at GE Appliances, Ernie Flores, Supplier Diversity and Inclusion Manager at Kaiser Permanente, and Sandra Riano, Supplier Diversity Manager at Manulife. Thank you all so much for joining us and for giving our feedback on today's pitches. Now we've got some sip and pitch rules and guidelines. Each of our companies will have 5 minutes to deliver their pitch today, and we ask that each presenting company have only one presenter pitching. After each pitch, our judges will have 10 minutes to give their feedback and ask any questions of our presenting company. If you are one of our presenters and you do not have a presentation, that is not a problem. The Sip and Pitch is designed to be informal and fun and provide you with real-time feedback on your company's pitch. As I said earlier, if you're not speaking, please be sure to mute your microphone here on Zoom. Jesse from Team NGLCC is going to be interrupting and providing warnings at 1 minute and at 30 seconds remaining to keep you on time. We'll also have a timer up on screen right where their picture is, so you'll be able to see that in a moment. Sip and Pitch is a judgment-free zone and is designed to help you enhance your pitch and grow your company. So all feedback shared today is done so in the spirit of collaboration. And lastly, and most importantly, have fun. So without further ado, I will turn it over to our first presenter, Facilities Partners and Solutions. Take it away.
Thank you, Lauren. I would like to be able to share. Is that a possibility?
Yep, you should be able to now.
Thank you. I am hoping that you see my title slide.
Yep, looks great.
Okay. How many queer female veterans do you know in the janitorial services? I'm betting I'm the first one. Picture it, Florida, 2019, there's a university struggling with their facility services provider. The campus is a disaster. There is a stench in the hallway. There's growth in the restrooms. The surfaces in the cafeteria are sticky and greasy. Parents are calling the university, complaining about the conditions, and students are actually posting things on social media. The university was looking for a solution to help them combat this situation. I was called in to help. When I came to the campus, I joined the employees and I started walking the buildings with them. We reviewed what the conditions were, and I shared how we were going to find solutions to bring the services up to expectations. We looked at the spaces and the tools that had been provided. The employees were trained on the importance of safety. We want all of our employees to go home the same way that they came to work. We trained on procedures on how to clean with the correct chemicals and tools. We also shared how important their jobs are and what a difference that they can make in the university, both to the faculty and the students. We're there so that the students can have an environment to succeed. With being on the campus, we had brought it up to at least 85% of the client's expectations. Conditions had not been seen like that for a long time. The solution FPS put into place provided an environment where students were happy with the spaces, and they actually thanked our employees. The client was satisfied with the response, which allowed them more time to focus on their core business, which is education and enriching the lives of the students. And our employees, they enjoyed coming to work as they were supported and provided the tools and methods to be successful in the jobs. At the end of the day, FPS was there to deliver expectations to the client. And how do we do that and what sets us apart? I am Kathleen Waters, President and CEO of Facilities Partners and Solutions. What makes FPS different? We strive on communication and transparency. We have a commitment to our frontline staff, partnership with our clients, and we have a passion to support the communities that we represent. And those communities include veteran, LGBT, women, and minorities. Encouraging open dialogue with employees and clients provides FPS the opportunity to excel and maximize the resources to exceed expectations of service and partnership. Our capabilities include operating in the East Coast with a concentration in the Mid-Atlantic and North New England. FPS is headquartered in New Jersey. We provide services across many industries with a focus on banking, government, education, and life sciences. By partnering with FPS, you can be confident that your facility partner understands your business strategies and objectives while performing to measured expectations. We are a full-service janitorial firm that focuses on the value of our employees and the service to our clients. We just happen to be run by a queer female veteran.
Fantastic. Kathleen, great job. Thank you so much for that presentation. Judges, I will turn it over to you for your feedback. And Sandra, let's start with you.
Apologies for the technical issue here. Can you see me all okay? I don't see myself.
We can see your beautiful background. We can't see the picture of you, though. It looks like you're just out of frame.
That's so bizarre. Something is
But
happening.
we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for presenting. One of the things that impacted me, it was your focus on the veteran business. I think like that's something that we don't tend to see, like the intersections often on the speeches. So thank you for highlighting that. I think that's very important. That was really like, I like your energy. And I think like, yeah, for me, that was the thing that stood out more from your presentation.
Great. Well, thanks for that feedback, Sandra. Ernie, I'll turn it to you.
Hi, yeah, great job in the presentation. I really enjoyed the storytelling aspect of it. Actually makes a pretty big impact when you're making a presentation. And I know this is geared toward like a broad audience. But just when you mentioned the industries that you worked in, I would probably have those bullet pointed within the presentation.
Okay.
That just so it's seen and known by the whoever you're presenting towards. And also one thing that's important for us is utilizing, and you mentioned during your presentation that the employees, the staff had the correct chemicals, but environmentally preferred chemicals, sustainable chemicals, green chemicals, mention of that, because I know that's big for our organization and it's big for a lot of organizations that are out there.
And and thank you. I appreciate that because we do green cleaning. So
yeah, no, I assumed you did, but like sometimes it's beneficial to spell it out.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great feedback, Ernie. Thanks for that. All right, Kate, bring us home.
Great. Well, thank you so much. It was a good presentation. I have really no edits on what you said, but more what you showed. Are you ready? I've got some edits. Okay. As my mother would say, take it or leave this. This is for the air.
That's all right. So the pictures weren't gross enough? No.
No. They told a story, like Ernie said. There was a slide 4 which showed 3 different quadrants of students, and they were like, I'm sure like canned photos that you got off the internet. I would encourage you to maybe, I'm assuming that you're still servicing this facility, go and maybe ask for some students to be in some pictures. You might have to have them sign a media release form, but it'll be free. It'll look real. And I think that would look really good. And if you want 3 quadrants of 3 different facilities you serve, I don't know. I just thought that would be a good addition. Also, kind of piggybacks on what Ernie said. I think your second to last slide before you get to your contact information, you should show a map of the U.S. and then you should have the East Coast highlighted in maybe your font color blue that you use as your logo or whatever, and then have little pins, virtual little animated pins, graphic pins that show where all your clients are. And to Ernie's point, maybe off the side, it can say schools, facilities, blah, 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 and it can have your industries. I think that as a supplier diversity leader, seeing that, I can easily send that on to my facilities person and be like, look, they're overlapped right into our territory, or they're overlapped right into a territory where, something like that will get their attention. Now, the last thing I'll tell you, and it is a little bit about what you said, and I'm sure you do this already. If you are pitching to a group like us, or supplier diversity leaders are on stage at the NGLCC conference, definitely do your exact open that you did. I bet you don't know any. But if you are pitching to a facilities team within a corporation, just start with the Golden Girls opening. Picture it, Sicily, 19th. I mean, that's wonderful. That is that.
Thank you.
But both of them are really great openings, but I think you need to pick one or the other. So well done.
You. No, that's great, because in my capabilities deck, where some of this came from, I have the map and I have the other things. So that will be easy for me to adjust. And the storytelling came from fearless speaking, because I had a session with Eduardo's staff that I met at the NGLCC convention. So I'm glad that it kind of paid off. So
I kind of want to add a little bit to what Kate mentioned, and it's obviously this is geared towards a specific session.
Yeah.
But when I participate in events like this, I always tell the suppliers that are making pitches to know your audience, because your presentation should be geared towards your audience, and you have one base deck of slides. Look where your focus is depending on who your audience is, because you do have one audience that are supplier diversity professionals who usually kind of get you in the door sometimes.
Mhm.
And then you have maybe a sourcing team, which are going to have different focuses. They're probably going to be focused more on pricing models, how you work there. And then you have the subject matter experts, and they're always going to be more in depth and asking you, the hard hitting questions about your business and your capabilities.
And to
Thank you.
piggyback on that, Kathleen, on both Ernie and Kate's point about knowing your audience, something that I see in organizations like ours that are Fortune 500 is that a lot of folks don't really know what they're buying. So they are really trusting on you to bring those proof points, or what is it that you've done, like how you grown your market really quickly, what kind of actual ROI you're bringing. So those are the things that both procurement and the business units will really appreciate and will take into account. Whereas the subject matter experts will pretty much look at more about the operational and logistics side. So kind of try to hit those little points depending on who you are looking at, but always looking from that side that not everybody knows what you're talking about. It's just that's just the nature of the business when you have people coming from different industries, coming into the procurement field, or coming from everybody's role are always stretched thin, so they take into different categories. So try to give as much information that is impactful and really meaningful to the audience that you're talking to.
But I would also just include for that, make sure that you include all aspects of that in any presentation you put forward. Just look at where your focus is, depending on who you're presenting towards.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will be honest, and I appreciate all the feedback, and I'm going to take it back, because I need to tweak for different audiences. But you guys got the fun version, so I wasn't sure how to make janitorial sexy. So
No, you did the scare tactic. You
yes,
showed
I did.
ugly. It's very impactful. So no, I think that's good for any audience, is the scare tactic.
Thank you.
Well, Kathleen, great job. And one thing that I want to point out as well that you are doing that I've seen other folks do before is the virtual background that has your certifications and the member organizations that you're a part of as your virtual background. I've seen folks do that before on Sip and Pitch and elsewhere, and I think that is a brilliant way to communicate without having to say anything. So tip for anyone else who's on the line, what Kathleen's doing with her virtual background is something that you could definitely incorporate when you're pitching your business or on a virtual call. So great job there. And also great job, Kathleen, with that presentation. And thanks, judges, for the feedback.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for joining us. All right. Well, we are going to turn it over to our second presenter of the day, Aspire Integrated Healthcare Solutions. The floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. My name is Craig. I am the CEO and founder of Aspire Integrated Healthcare Solutions. My pronouns are he and him. I have been in the healthcare industry as an executive for 30 years, opening hospitals, clinics, and helping health plans and building healthcare networks, serving different organizations. Over the past 10 years, I've been in the mental health space. I've opened 8 psych hospitals. And on a national effort, I have seen all the data and the gaps in care and how there are new solutions and technologies that really are not being applicable or used to the general public or on a global scale. I also went on a medical mission trip to Africa, so I'm very passionate about doing our international programs. We've just recently built a strategic partnership with a company based in Mexico. So we're now looking at providing our tools and programs to the refugees, people in Mexico, and also our Latin population. As a gay man and also experiencing a tragic loss from a murder of someone I loved, from someone who had mental illness, I'm really focusing and passionate about our mental health programs, which is our top priority right now. These programs include our hospital post-discharge program, our school programs, our military programs, and focusing on our LGBTQ community. We partnered with other NGLCC providers and partners to launch and even develop a national mental health LGBTQ behavioral network, providing our solutions and tools and programs and therapy to our community. One of the main tools that I'm launching is our portal. I'll show you that in just a second. But one of this very powerful software partners is Videra Health. It's remote patient psychotherapy monitoring that has proven to prevent suicide, where people were literally about to commit suicide and they were able to monitor that, measure it, and intervene. So as a channel partner, we're launching this and putting it into all of our programs. And basically, the concept of this technology is it measures your emotional status, and it can score and identify if you're in a crisis. Organizations like Kaiser and other employer groups in population health and provider systems can now look on a large scale, look at the data of the populations they measure. And when there's anyone that's experiencing a emotional distress based on these scores, it also uses artificial intelligence to monitor and measure their facial recognition, and it can determine additional measures based on that data. So then we are building our Care Navigator team. So we actually are building up social workers and other mental health providers to do the monitoring, and then we intervene and help different organizations to do this. It's not really available to employee organizations, and so that's one of the things we're doing, is to expand that to employers, chambers, and other organizations, and even other communities. Our portal is for any individual. You can actually register for free today at secure.aspirehealthportal.com. This is in our first beta stage. It has HIPAA secure information built on the SuiteDash client portal platform. And it basically has a variety of functions and tools where people can keep their medical records in there. It is not an EMR system. It's just basically an additional tool that people can have themselves and keep it for life. And also it gives other providers who don't have an EMR system and other countries who don't even know what EMR is. But the powerful thing about this is it has more functionality than a basic EMR system, where it can have tracking your wellness, other functions and notifications. That's it. Thank you very much.
Craig, thank you so much, and great work with your presentation. Judges, I'll turn it over to you. And Ernie, would you like to kick us off with feedback?
Yeah, no, great job in your presentation. What I would like to see probably added to that are maybe some of the organizations that you partner with, if you're allowed to share some of that information. Yeah. And possibly even, I know this is a sensitive area, but a case study or something of that sort, and just brief bullet points on a case point of a success story that you've worked with. Yeah. Just because I am in healthcare, I would like to see how you see that working with with if you have some sort of model that you've had success with, or that you see being successful, how you would enter into a partnership with a healthcare organization. You know, Kaiser's a big organization. We have our mental health facilities, but we also have our employee groups, our EAP programs. We also partner with and have a community health group that works with the communities that we operate in, where this could be beneficial as well. So listing some of those ideas into initial presentation, I think would be beneficial.
Will do. Thank you.
Thanks, Ernie. Kate, over to you.
Okay, hi. Well, that was a great presentation, very impactful. Kind of, you shared some personal things too, which is always good to connect with the audience. It did occur to me kind of towards the end. I thought, what is he pitching? You know, what is he pitching? His company? Is he pitching the services? Obviously, you do a lot of things. So I think it would be helpful in the beginning to say something like Aspire Integrated Healthcare Solutions offers a suite of services, and then pictorially on your screen, show like little blocks or bubbles that say everything that you're about to cover in your presentation. Because you got some really cool stuff, but I wasn't connecting them all, and I'm just very visual. So I think it would be good to have like a picture of like the like the org chart kind of how your company is laid out, if you will. I do think though, when we compare, which we shouldn't, but when we compare you to the first presentation, and this is a very fine line, so I'm going to be very, very hesitant in giving this as a tip, because I've seen it done so poorly, and I'm sure my other judges will concur. You never want to read what's on the slide, right? But you do want, when you're verbally talking, you want it to correspond with what is on the slide.
Yeah.
And the first presentation, really, she was saying stuff that hit every single slide. Yours was much more extemporaneous. You were telling your story. And if that's your approach, that's fine. But I would like to see your slides kind of correspond. And then I would say for me, the most impressive part is your bio, is your background, you personally, what all you've done. You're talking about, you've launched these health systems, you've like this is your time to shine. This is your only time when you can really toot your own horn, and people aren't going to be like, he is so full of himself. So I think a slide in the very beginning, because I think you had a slide in the beginning that had your contact information. I would move that to the end. This is just me. And I think in the beginning, it could be like, who is Craig? And I've seen people that have like an arrow. I think it's on Microsoft. It's pretty easy to do it. An arrow, and it's got like 5 blocks, and it just takes you through as you progress through your career. And you could just have bullet points. I've launched this many, I've done this, I've worked on this, and it could click as you're saying it. I think that would be very impressive, because then people are like, oh, okay, he's really qualified. I need to be tuning up. And then back to Ernie's point, my last thing that I'll say is that the Videra suicide prevention app, that's really impactful. Give a stat. Say the percentage of suicides it's prevented, or just a key stat would be very, if it's available.
We don't have that yet. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
but yeah,
38% of statistics are made up.
I am
anyway,
eager to get that data. We have very little, and that's one of the things we're doing with them, is helping them to actually get into markets and apply their software into different markets. And once we have that data, it's going to be huge.
Go to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and they've got a stat that says, so blah, blah, blah % of suicides are preventable. I imagine it's 100% actually of suicides attempts are preventable. They all are. They didn't all happen. So just have a zinger stat. If you have to go out there and find some stat, do it.
Oh, we have all data. Yeah, that's actually, I appreciate all your feedback. So one, on this pitch, it really is not focused on a particular customer. We always do them based on, are you an employer? Are you a chamber? Are you a hospital? And it's completely different. Right. So I do that definitely, and appreciate all your feedback as well. And yeah, we'll certainly apply some of those things. But yeah, there's, as a startup, and I am a very humble person, I only have to put, like you said, my expertise, because I've passed laws, I've helped our system get better. So I'm using that expertise and knowledge to apply what we're building and trying to fill in what we call gaps of care.
Oh, see, gaps of care. Use that term. That's great. That's great.
Thank you.
So-
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you so much for that presentation. I'm going to focus my feedback on the mechanics of the presentation. I have 15 years of experience on branding and marketing. So I always come from that side because we always have people at the business table that, again, they just want to make a decision. They're going to be wowed by statistics and things that are going to make them happy. I love everything, like Kate was saying, your proof points. I would love to be able to see them connected to all of your services and products. I think you went to the second slide and you were talking about the suicide prevention, but you already have talked about it. So that's literally the direct link of what you do and why you do it. I think that will be a lot more impactful. Also, focus on when you were presented your app, it was sleek, clean. There was a bit of a disconnect with the beginning of the slide that looked very much entry-level PowerPoint. So try to find some templates online that are very easy to find and try to borrow from that so that it's a very clean transition between what you're talking about, who you are, your passion, to how you make that happen. Because that's what, at the end of the day, sometimes that's really the disconnect between one vendor, like the one thing that's going to push you over the edge. And we're going to have a clean transition between what you're telling you do and to how you execute it. And that's what people takes home with them. Like, I like what the product was, I like the services, but I don't know if they can deliver because there was this minimal technical, mechanical thing that disrupted their thinking. So you focus on that, I think you have a winner right there.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, judges, for all that feedback. And Craig, great job. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we are going to turn it over to our third and final presenter of the day, Meek Productions, Inc. Take it away.
Awesome. Awesome. Hold on just a second to make sure everything is okay. Can you all hear me well?
We can indeed.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. First of all, greetings to everyone. My name is Miko Evans, and once again, I'm the founder and executive producer of Meek Productions Incorporated. We are the world's first LGBTQ exclusive talent agency and production company. This year, we're celebrating our 20th conceptual anniversary, and originally created in spring of 2003 right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Our company is designed to provide the entertainment industry and our small business communities with professional top-notch talent from our LGBTQ plus performing arts community. And our goal is to make sure that we provide the public with tasteful, entertaining presentations that show more of a professional, artistic, diverse, and inclusive side of the LGBTQ plus community. While we also have the talent agency side, we also have our production company side where we're able to provide branding, advertising, entertainment solutions and media production services to our LGBTQ plus small business community, as well as our straight allies. By way of doing that, we've been able to establish long-term relationships with both our allied community as well as members in the LGBTQ plus community, and particularly the small business community. Of course, in February 2021, we became LGBTQ certified business with the National Chamber by way of the Out Georgia Business Alliance. We're also members of the International Gay and Lesbian Travel Association, where we're actually getting ready to provide media services for their 40th anniversary global convention. And we're also a member of the European LGBTQ Chamber of Commerce. As a result of our 20 years in advocacy and working with the community, our home city, Atlanta, had just awarded us 2 city proclamations. And we also have a resolution from the state of Georgia for Meek Productions Day in 2024. So a lot of wonderful things are going on with us. We are very excited with our new partnership with the state of Georgia's Department of Public Health, where we'll be their official videographer and photographer for their upcoming special events that they're going to be having targeting our LGBTQ plus community to make sure that people know about their opportunities and services that are available to them as it relates to health. We didn't get a chance to do a PowerPoint presentation, but we do have a brief video presentation, actually 2 small video clips that we would like to show you our media side as well as our talent agency side. So if I can share.
Yep, go for it.
Hold on just a second. Let me get this together. Hold on. I want to make sure I stay within the time. Hold on just a second. Okay, hold on. Okay, I think I got it. Hold on. I think something's going on. Hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. I think something's going on.
Jesse, can we pause the timer while Miko?
Thank you, because I know something is I
No
was
worries.
expecting this. You know, it happened. Okay. That was open, yeah. Okay, it should be okay. Okay, let's see if we can do it now. Sorry, guys, for this. I am so sorry for this. I wasn't expecting this hookup.
No worries. And if you're still facing some technical difficulties, if there's links, you can also just post the links in the chat and folks can go and watch the video themselves, if that would work.
I think that would work because wow, I wasn't expecting this.
No worries. One of the many joys of the virtual world that we live in these days.
I was just so excited for you all to watch the video. Wow. Wow, wasn't expecting this. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to post the video presentation here in the link for you all to actually take a look at. I just posted it in the chat. My apologies once again for the technical difficulties. This just happened. So. And also in closing, for more information about how you can actually take advantage of our services, both as it relates to as it relates to providing talent, or if you're in need of any of our media production services, just please go to our website at www.meekproductions.lgbt, which is MEAK as in kite productions within s.lgbt for more information. And I think that's about it. Like I said, I kind of got discombobulated when my presentation got interrupted.
No worries. Thanks, Miko.
Wow.
Kate, would you like to kick off our judges' feedback?
Absolutely. You know, I put myself on mute. I clicked on the YouTube video, and all of a sudden I was like jamming along because it was a great, great song. So I hope everyone does go and watch the YouTube video. I also was perusing your website too. I couldn't help it. I was looking at some various assets that you have.
Thank
You
you.
obviously are passionate. You know your business inside out. You said a catchphrase. You said a phrase that I think personally should become a catchphrase. Should it be the first thing you say before you even say your name? I'm not sure. Out for the other judges to weigh on this. You said tasteful, entertaining productions. I love that quote, and I think that that needs to be said, highlighted in a PowerPoint, bulleted the first thing you say, maybe the last thing you say when you close out. I don't know. It's a zinger. I think that what would make it even more impactful, and again, I don't know the stats there, is talk about the spending impact of the LGBTQ plus community and how production companies don't hit on it, can't hit on it because they're not LGBTQ plus themselves.
Absolutely.
I don't know. There's something there, and maybe those are two separate things. But I think if, for me, and I'm with GE Appliances, right? If I was to pitch you to my company's video production and marketing world, I'd be like, hey, if we're trying to go after this segment, we need to be intentional and we need to use an LGBTQ owned firm, and this is why that they're so good about it. I also think that you're really good about talking about the talent agency side and the production side. And I see on your website, you even have a media side.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have these 2 to 3 divisions of the company, I think, and again, I defer to the judges if they think this is a good suggestion too. Can you talk about how clients, you currently have clients that just use one side, but you have some clients that use all of you.
Absolutely, we do.
You're a one-stop shop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you need to make a connection to talk about how you do all these things and it's beneficial to the customer because they don't have to outsource it. And the very last thing, I think you should end your pitch, whether it's written on a PowerPoint or you verbally say it, is you should say, And mark your calendars for Meek Productions Day, who we've been deemed by the city of Atlanta or the state of Georgia. It was proclamated, and there it was. So I think if you mark your calendars, I think that's really impressive. Who has a day named after them? That's pretty cool. Like astronauts, maybe, and presidents.
Okay.
So.
We wasn't expecting it either when we had our anniversary mixer at City Hall, Cinco de Mayo weekend this past May. And that they sprung that on us. I was like, everybody, I was shocked. So yeah, that was just a wonderful experience all around. Wow. And thank you so much for confirming, because a lot of the things that you mentioned is in our media kit, but we just got to find a way to transfer it into a PowerPoint presentation. So thank you for confirming.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But well done.
Thank you.
Thanks for that feedback, Kate. Sandra, I'll turn it to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Miko. That was a wonderful presentation. I am a visual person, and I was getting distracted by the fact that you didn't have a PowerPoint. And I kept thinking about my branding and marketing people. They are just like as visual, and they will be like, "He sounds great, but I won't remember what he said."
Okay.
And and you're a media production. I was thinking this would be the great opportunity forget about a PowerPoint. Do like an overlay video of your stats when you're talking about it, right? Like impress us. This is your chance to shine. So I would love to see that. Again,
and that's one of the reasons why I actually was ready for the video and stuff, but this technical difficulties. So I apologize for that. Thank you so much.
No. But I love that you are already there, right? It's just a matter, just a little technical issue. It's not a big deal. I love what Kate said about the one-stop shopping. Companies like small, big companies, they're always looking for that business. Procurement managers, that's literally the first one thing they want to deal with, as little amount of vendors as possible. So for you to reinforce that would be amazing. Again, as many points as you can, just highlighting, so I know what I can tell to my boss. What is it that, why are we choosing you? Because I know that the other people are going to come with their big decks telling me, the proof points. So I really would love to see that. But great job. I love your energy. I love everything that you did.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. All of this is confirmation. Thank you.
I love the energy too, and you present yourself extremely well. You can tell the passion about your business and the work that you do as well. And the one things that I would say, I mean, it's obviously your choice, but in terms of how you present when you're presenting to potential customers, I like the combination of you doing it in person and then adding that video. I know we didn't get to see the video, but adding the video portion of it, unless it's a video of you saying the same thing. But
No.
I like how you display your passion for what you do. So I think that's very important to incorporate in there. Something that I would like to see, just because of, an example of some of the work that you've done. If you get authorization from one of your previous customers to show a video, especially if it's a video, something someone can see, so they can see the quality, they can see the impact of the work that you do during the presentation, and it could be a small portion of it. But beyond that, I thought you did a great job.
Thank you. And thank you. And like I said, once again, apologies for the technical difficulties. Everything that you just said was actually in our video presentation.
Yeah.
We had two small trailers, one from the media production side, the other one from the talent agency side, where you see the variety of what we do and the quality of it. So yeah.
And I just saw that you have an official record label. That's pretty cool. Mention that.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, when you all get a chance, check out the actual the sip and pitch presentation that we did create for from our YouTube channel, and you'll get a chance to see the two videos.
Awesome. Well, Miko, thank you so much for joining us and rounding out our presenters today. And judges, thank you so much for your feedback. Before we move into our communities and conversation, I want to give you all a chance, the three of you, to give any final thoughts, any closing thoughts that you have for our three presenters, or just anyone on the line who's looking to improve their own pitch. So Kate, we can start with you.
I'm like, yes, I do. I would like to combine all three of them. And I'm going to tell you the three aspects that would be so great that would come together for a perfect pitch. The Craig's very impressive background that he starts with, that establishes credibility and why you should invest or use his company. That's good. The sizzle of the video that I hope everyone's going to get to see, with a little bit of music and a little bit of pop of Meek. And then the storytelling of the gross bathroom, and and the if she was to have the map overlay showing her territories and little clients and industry served, all that together, what would just make a really impactful pitch and would check off everything that a supplier diversity person would need to forward a PowerPoint deck on to stakeholders. That's my final thought.
Awesome. Thanks, Kate. Sandra, any final closing thoughts?
Sure. Actually, very similar to Kate. Proof point, proof point, proof point. That's really key. You focus on those proof points. Why do we want to buy it from a supplier diversity side? Again, from the beginning of the presentation, when the veteran aspects, a lot of organizations right now are focusing on intersectionality. If that's where you're going, you did your research, you know that they're going for, make sure that that's from forward. If there is something that they're focusing on doing more rationalization of their spend, then that's when you focus on your one-stop shop. So like do your research and find those proof points that are going to be very impactful to that organization. That's something that sometimes I found on pitches, that they are very much generic, that they are not really about the company. What is it that I know about this company? What they had done in the last year? Where are they going? So again, if they are all about rationalization of their spend, one-stop shopping. If it's all about digital transformation, that's where the second presentation was great. Show me that app, show me all the things that you've done already. So go with those proof points, because at the end of the day, all these mechanics, all those things are great. But if you don't hit that, you're not gonna get the business, because that's not what they're looking for. That's not their pain that they are trying to mitigate.
Yeah, great feedback, Sandra. All right, Ernie, final closing thoughts.
Not much to add after what Kate and Sandra provided already, but I would just add to what Kate mentioned is don't forget your capabilities, industries you worked in, all those aspects of it too. Because as much as we can be impressed by that, by what's presented and the various aspects and each individual presentation on its own, you're gonna hit the sourcing people, you're gonna hit the stakeholders at some point. So they need to see that as well, make sure that that's captured in there. But there's some sort of combination of everything to really make your company stand out above the others.
Well, Ernie, Kate, and Sandra, thank you all so much for being our judges for today's Sip and Pitch. And thank you to our three presenters for doing such an amazing job on this Friday afternoon.